Okay, so you want to get a handle on Pune, right? Its
Yeah.
story, its vibe, what makes it tick.
Um,
But maybe without getting bogged down in a history textbook,
no,
this
right.
is your fast track to being in the know.
Exactly. We've got a ton of materials here on Poon,
Yeah,
from ancient stuff to modern analyses,
yeah,
and we're pulling out those essential pieces just for you.
yeah. It's like
Think of it as the cheat sheet to understanding this awesome city.
cheat sheet, exactly. Okay, Pune, dynamic part.
Oh,
In
yeah.
the Maharashtra,
Uh-huh.
famously called the Oxford of the
Oh,
East.
yeah.
Incredible mix,
Yeah.
long history, centuries old,
Centuries.
huge education hub,
Uh-huh.
and now this booming center for technology.
Yeah, and the weather's pretty nice,
The weather's not bad, generally speaking.
generally.
Our goal in this deep dive is to pull out those key threads that tie together Pune's past and present.
And to dig a little deeper, I think to understand why Poon has become what it is today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
More than just the facts, right?
Okay, let's unpack it.
Let's do it.
Where does Pune's story even begin?
Well, the earliest traces we have, they actually take us back to the 8th century.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so you have these old inscriptions mentioning a place called Punaka,
Punaka.
or Ponyapur. Even way back then, the location, it had like a distinct identity.
Right.
Though, it was super different from the city we see today.
Obviously, yeah, no software companies back then, I imagine. So, what was life like in Punaka?
Primarily an agricultural settlement,
Okay,
like a small town, really. For centuries, it stayed relatively low-key, ruled by various dynasties.
okay.
You've got those early medieval groups like the Rashtrakutas and later on the Yadavas of Divagiri.
Right, right.
They kind of set the scene for who would rule the region later on.
Okay.
It had this strategic location, though, which kept it relevant even under the Bahmani and Ahmednagar sultanates,
Yeah.
which was the later medieval period.
Okay, so just like a long period of quiet growth then?
Pretty much, yeah.
When did Pune really step into the spotlight?
Okay, so the 17th and 18th centuries, those were the real turning points.
Okay, yeah,
That's when the Marathas rose to power.
right.
Pune was right in the heart of this emerging empire.
Yeah, and of course we can't talk about the Marathas without Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. I mean, his name is basically synonymous with Maratha history. What's his connection with Pune?
Oh, it's fundamental.
Okay.
Shivaji spent a lot of his childhood in Pune at a place called Lal Mahal under his mother, Jujabai, and his mentor, Dagoji Kondev.
Right, right.
This early link to Pune, it was super important for the city's future.
Okay, so it wasn't just some random spot on the map that became important.
No, not at all. As the Marathas expanded, especially as the Ahmednagar Sultanate declined and they were clashing more with the Mughal Empire, Shivaji strategically built up Pune. It became essential, like a vital military and administrative center for his growing territories.
Right.
His strategic genius, you can really see it in the network of forts around Pune. Places like Senagad, they played crucial roles in securing his land.
Okay, so Shivaji lays the groundwork, but then we hear so much about the Peshwas. How did they kind of build on that foundation?
The Peshwas, they were like the prime ministers of the Maratha Empire.
Okay.
They truly transformed Pune, starting in the early 18th century with Balaji Vishwanath Peshwa. They essentially made Pune their power center.
Right.
So for you, our listener, get this. Understanding the Peshwa era, it's key.
Yeah.
Because it laid the foundation for so much of Pune's cultural and architectural identity, even today.
Okay, almost like an unofficial capital shift.
Kinda, yeah. While it wasn't officially declared the only capital at first, Pune became the de facto center of the Maratha Empire.
Okay.
The Peshwas, they kicked off this huge period of building and development.
Right.
The iconic Shaniwar Wada, for example, built in 1732,
Right.
became the main residence of the Peshwas. It shows their growing power.
Sani Warwada, it looks so impressive in pictures. What else flourished during this, golden age of the Peshwas?
The city, it just thrived.
Okay.
Multiple fronts, tons of temples were built, markets got way bigger, and those unique Wada-style houses became a big part of the city's look.
Okay.
Militarily, Pune's defenses got stronger, reflecting its central role in all the power struggles happening at the time.
Right.
It turned into this bustling center, culture, politics, economics, all happening there, overlooking these vast Maratha territories.
But this golden age didn't last forever.
No, it didn't.
Right.
By the early 19th century, you have internal divisions within the Maratha Confederacy, and the British were getting more and more influential,
Yeah.
which led to the Anglo-Maratha Wars. In 1818, after the Third Anglo-Maratha War, Pune fell to the British East India Company.
Right.
That marked the end of Peshwa rule.
Okay, so another major power shift. How did British rule impact Pune?
Well, the British, they knew Pune was strategically important,
Yeah.
especially for the military.
Okay.
They set up these cantonment areas like Khataki and Camp to house their troops.
Right, right.
It's interesting, the Aga Khan Palace, which was built in 1892, later became really significant in India's fight for independence.
Yeah.
Mahatma Gandhi was actually imprisoned there
Okay.
during the Quit India movement in 1942.
Wow.
It's amazing how a place meant for leisure, later became such a strong symbol of resistance.
Yeah.
It really shows how history can take these unexpected turns.
Yeah, powerful imagery. Like from a center of Maratha power to a place resisting the British. Did Pune contribute to the independence movement in other ways?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
This era also saw the rise of some major social reformers and freedom fighters who were based in Pune.
Okay.
You have people like Jyotirao Phule and Savitribai Phule, visionaries.
Yeah.
They championed education and social equality. And Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he was a key figure in the nationalist movement.
Okay.
Their work, it laid the groundwork for India's future.
Right. So even under British rule, Pune was still a major player, but its role had changed.
Yeah.
Right. What happened after India gained independence in 1947?
In the post-independence era, Pune took a new path of development. It really cemented its rep as a major education hub,
Right.
earning that title, the Oxford of the East. And it's well-deserved
It is.
because of the growth of these prestigious institutions. Savitribai Phule Pune University, Symbiosis, Ferguson College.
Right, right.
This wasn't just random luck, and
Yeah.
the legacy of intellectual discussion, which was nurtured back in the Peshwa era, and then that focus on education by the social reformers, it created this fertile ground for higher learning to thrive.
Right.
It set the stage for the academic powerhouse we see today.
Yeah, Oxford of the East, it really speaks to its academic standing. And then came the more recent transformation, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The IT revolution on the 90s, it really reshaped Pune. The city became a huge magnet for tech companies, both Indian and global.
Yeah.
Major players like Infosys, TCS, Mercedes-Benz, Bajaj Auto, they all set up shop here.
Right?
It propelled Pune to what it is now, this leading tech and automotive hub.
Amazing. From ancient settlement to Maratha capital to education hub to tech powerhouse.
I know, right?
Remarkable journey of adaptation. So what defines modern Pune then?
Today, Pune is totally cosmopolitan,
Yeah.
successfully blending its rich history with a modern dynamic culture.
Right.
You can see remnants of the past in its landmarks, but it's also bursting with this young, educated crowd,
Right.
vibrant food scene,
Uh-huh.
lively nightlife.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned some key historical sites within Pune itself. For anyone thinking of visiting, could we dig a little deeper into those?
Of course, yeah. Shaniwarwada, as we discussed, it's a must-see grand fortress of the Peshwas,
Right.
a strong symbol of their power and influence. Then there's Lal Mahal. While it doesn't have much of the original structure left, it holds huge historical importance.
Okay.
It was Shivaji Maharaj's childhood home,
Right.
representing those early beginnings of his rise.
Yeah.
And obviously Aga Khan Palace, it's a moving reminder of India's struggle for freedom.
Yeah.
A place where important historical figures were held during a critical period. To really understand Pune's layers of history, we got to touch on some of the iconic spots within the city and its surroundings.
Yeah.
Each one tells part of this fascinating story.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Synagogue Fort, quite close to Pune, right?
Right, yeah. Synagogue, it's another vital place. It's famous for that intense battle fought there in 1670.
Okay.
It's also super popular for trekking, and you can get some awesome local food at the top.
Cool.
It's like the strategic brilliance of the Marathas is just evident in locations like Synagogue, which were crucial for them to keep their power.
So much to see in Pune itself. What about a little further out? Our sources highlight some historic places nearby.
The area surrounding Pune, it's historically rich.
Okay.
Lohagad Fort, UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Wow.
It's seen so many dynasties come and go. Shivaji used it to protect his treasury.
Okay.
It's Scorpion's Tail Cliff Formation. It's a sight to see. Really impressive.
Wow, that sounds dramatic. What other nearby spots are worth checking out?
Rajgad Fort, that was Shivaji Maharaj's first capital
Okay.
before he moved on to Raigad.
Okay.
It's another fantastic trekking spot.
Okay.
Well-preserved fortifications.
Yeah.
And you get these amazing panoramic views of the whole landscape.
Nice.
Purandar Fort, that's significant because it's where Shivaji's son, Sambhaji Maharaj, was
Okay.
born,
Mm-hmm.
and it's where a major treaty was signed.
Okay.
So all these forts, they really show how important the Maratha Empire was in this region. They do, yeah. Torna Fort, that was the first fort captured by a young Shivaji.
Wow.
It marked the start of his rise to power. Huge.
Okay.
Great option for a monsoon trek.
Okay.
Further out, you'll find Pratapgad Fort, famous for that legendary battle where Shivaji defeated Afzal Khan, a
Right.
turning point in Maratha history.
Yeah, the story behind these places are just captivating.
Yeah, they are.
What about something a little different, maybe with some older history?
For those into ancient history, the Karla and Haja caves, they're not far from Pune, and they're incredible.
Okay.
Ancient Buddhist rock-cut caves,
Okay.
dating back to the 2nd century BCE,
Wow.
intricate carvings, impressive chekyas, which were their prayer halls,
Okay.
takes you way back.
Yeah, wow. Any other notable places nearby?
Jejui, it's known for the Khandoba Temple,
Okay.
big pilgrimage site famous for its Pandara festival.
Okay.
It's where they throw turmeric powder everywhere. It's this wild, colorful spectacle.
Wow, okay.
And then, of course, there's Raigad Fort, the capital of the Maratha Empire after Shivaji's coronation in 1674.
Okay, yeah.
You can still see parts of his palace and the coronation site. It's like a tangible connection to that era.
Raigad sounds like a must-see for anyone into Maratha history.
It really is.
Yeah.
Closer to Lonavala, you've got Korigad Fort, captured by Shivaji, known for its beautiful surroundings and scenic lakes, and Shivneri Fort, Shivaji Maharaj's actual birthplace. It's got stunning views of the Junnar region. It gives you this sense of connection to his origins.
So whether you're into forts, ancient caves, or battlefields, the area around Pune has a ton of history to explore.
It does, yeah. All these sites in and around Pune, they show the region's deep, complex connection to Maharashtra's rich and diverse past.
Okay, so bringing this all together, what's the big picture significance of Pune's history?
Right.
What's the main takeaway for our listener?
Well, Pune's story really captures the broader history of Maharashtra.
Yeah.
It's so intertwined with the rise and fall of the Maratha Empire, the social reform movements, and its transformation into this hub for tech and higher education.
Yeah.
Shows just this incredible ability to adapt and thrive through different periods.
Yeah, we've journeyed from ancient settlements to a thriving modern metropolis,
I know.
exploring empire, social change, technological advancement,
Yeah.
a real deep dive into Pune.
A true deep dive.
From Punica to the Oxford of the East, and now a leading IT hub, Pune's story is one of continuous evolution, and it has this lasting significance.
It does.
So here's a final thought for you, our listener, to consider. Given Pune's deep historical importance and its rapid modern growth, what future role might a city with such a rich past play on the global stage? How might its history shape its progress in the years to come? It's a fascinating interplay between the echoes of history and the endless possibilities of the future. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Pune.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.